Oh, sorry about that. I'm doing great today. All right. So, yes. Welcome, episode 46. Yeah, okay. There's me having my mic turned off. Didn't have the chat linked, had my mic turned off. Awesome. So, thank you for pointing that out, Kelvin. Um, all right. So, quick recap. Um, I meant to stream yesterday, but I got a little bit later start, and by the time I did a huge mining run, processed the stuff, made some of the materials that we're going to need for this episode, and kind of waited for the um, gases to trickle through the filtration system, which the ACs are blocking it up. Then to get the pressure low enough, because I had the pipes almost completely maxed out. Um, then I was actually able to put these bypass valves in, and we can basically adjust. So we're only running 1 to 4 ACs um, by just flipping the valve either on or off. Um, and then that basically, since everything in the tank was at like 9 degrees Celsius, I was able to basically bypass all the ACs and run everything through the filtration system. And then thankfully it was all filtered out. This is the O2 basically we're getting from the greenhouse. It doesn't happen that often. I think I've done it like 3 times. uh, yeah, I can't. I was even looking at right at it too. But anyway, yeah. So, um, yeah. So basically, threw the bypass valves in, and so we can skip that. I do need to make this a min max eventually. Um, but right now, I just have it set for if it's 6 kp, it kicks in and basically pulls down what it can. So, yes, and radiators are still broken. That's what I was kind of walking around showing earlier. Um, hopefully they will have an update on the beta branch, hopefully tomorrow, to take care of that. Because it is kind of annoying. You can use an AC to heat, and it will pull the heat out of the pipe, um, and kind of cool like that. But you're still limited to, okay, you're either, you know, so we might look into doing something with that. It would probably be kind of a pain to set up, um, since it would cool the pipe, but then we might have to basically have another AC somewhere else that's basically trying to cool something. We're basically going to be moving it back and forth within the system. We have no really way to get rid of it. So I'm really hoping they'll just fix it, and then we don't have to. Really, I'm going to leave the light hooked up right now just so it's not completely dark over here. Um, yeah, and instead of trying to set up something that's basically going to only be here until they fix it. Okay, and we're gonna just run this over because we this is a separate system, so and we'll probably add a wall heater in here as well. I think I have to see on that. I don't think we've hit the limit yet. Oh, come on, there we go. But hopefully we should get all these machines and stuff tied back in pretty quick. And button up all the walls, and then I think we might be ready to repressurize the base after that. Um, yeah, that might work out. Be kind of interested in. Well, now get the machines will be easy hooking up. The cryopod and all that stuff we're gonna have to run tanks over to. and I might, depending on where we get, how long it takes, I might make that another episode. I do plan on doing a few episodes today. Um, I do have to run out for a little bit later on, so I might do 1, 2 episodes and then come back to another uh, 1 or 2 episodes. That's probably what I'll have to do, but just to give people a heads up. All right, so I think trying to not have everything right where we need to place everything, which hopefully that should give us hopefully enough pipes. I think the cryopod is used for respawn, but I'm not 100% positive. I haven't respawned. It might not actually have a use yet, but I'm hooking everything up that's in the game now, just because for one, we're kind of at that point, and for two, like they've added food. We don't know, even if it doesn't have a use, it's going to have a use. And I'm assuming it's kind of like in Pyron, that's your spawn point. Um, and then that's the sleepers for healing, is what I would believe. So since we're kind of hooking up the rest of the machines that we haven't hooked up, seems like a good time to throw them in, because we never do know when, they're going to actually implement them. All right, so I guess we should empty all these out. And then we can try. And hopefully I believe I made a little over 100 cables, so we should have plenty of cables to rerun everything. Empty. All right. Oh, this will be nice because it's really been kind of a pain to use the machines in here. All right, there we go. Oh, autosave. Oh, why does the pressure get too high in it? Or do you want to, you talked about you want to filter the CO2 out? Which, does that only have one pipe or does that have two? Because it's only got one pipe, doesn't it? Huh. Yeah, that's interesting. You think it would have an input and output. Hmm. Okay. Okay. And we're gonna have to move that locker, but I might actually make a couple more lockers, and that way we can just move stuff in between instead of dumping everything on the floor. Um, now the only thing I don't like about this setup is I usually like to, we've basically been using the furnace. Um, hmm. I really gotta get the lights up in here too. Alright, I think we're gonna kind of, and I want to spread these out because maybe we'll look at adding some conveyors, or not, I keep saying conveyors, some, um, adding some chutes in between them. Okay. And let me see. Yeah, we'll just do something. Probably set these back a little bit. Hydraulic press. We'll kind of keep them in the order we were doing that way. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, well, we'll hook up a pressure regulator and a filtration system to it. And we can move the fabricator in there as well. And let me get this out of my inventory. and we'll stick the fabricator. Probably right there, I think. And I do like throwing the computer right in it. That works pretty good. Then we can do the data, power to power. Okay, there we go. We'll get all this wired back up. Actually, let's kind of throw some ingots back in the machines. I don't like leaving the ingots laying around. Get this going. Yeah, I'm really interested to check out the gas generator, especially since we are kind of not so bad since pretty much everything's run through the filtration system, but we are kind of still dropping low on power. Let's see, this should be in electronics. Yeah. Right, and then we'll just run all the power back around, loop it around the room and the floor again. And I think this is actually the end of the line. I have to pull up the floor there. I think that's the end of the line. Because that should greenhouses on its own circuit. And I will probably put those on this circuit. I don't think they have insanely high power. All right, there we go. And we'll go ahead and start off with the full coil. And I'm not going to worry about data on any of these yet. We haven't really needed it. Maybe at some point we will. Oh, let's hook this data up to here. We definitely need that hooked up. Other way. There we go. Come on. And junction. Come on. There we go. You know, I actually didn't need to do that. Could have just done that on the junction. Let's do that. There's no really point to push out in front of the machine. We're just wasting a piece of cable. The only thing I did like is I liked it when it was facing the other way because we got the, you know, the stuff came out. I might turn, I think I will actually turn that. Yeah, I haven't messed with the chickens yet. I do got to do that, and I was thinking of, because I don't think we can keep them alive in the greenhouse since they have, you know, since we're doing a pure, pretty much a pure CO2 environment. So I was thinking about, I might need to add another room in to grow for the chickens. Oh, I guess I'll turn that. And yeah, I haven't messed with those at all. Which, oh, very nice. So I'm kind of interested to see. I guess you can feed them corn. From what I was reading, I don't know if they'll eat anything else. But I've got to check. I'm not sure what they. I believe I read that they need a slightly higher temperature than what you keep the base at, but I'm not 100% positive on that. Oh, and always get the one random piece of cable. Oh, really? Oh. Yeah, I really wish they would change that. Notice there's some weird clipping issues on if you drop a ingot, like you can't pick it up here because it'll clip through. Basically, it's blocking the model Now everything's not going to be in line. Well, I guess actually it would move that in line. All right, we'll turn this. No, I'll have to check that out. Like I said, I haven't really looked into it too far. All right. There we go. And we can tie into, I'm trying to remember where this line comes through the floor at. I think we might be coming up from that end. Oh, we're going to make a couple of doors too. We can definitely pull up all that. We'll get some cabling back. I believe that just runs to the light. Which luckily these are easy to put back down again. That's right, we have the airlock on with this. We're going to have to leave some of this because we've got the doors. And there shouldn't be any power down there. All right, the filtration will leave. And I forgot about these. Oh, don't. Oh. I was like, where did it go? The last thing I need to do is run one of my tools through the recycler. All right, so centrifuge. All right, I might have to shoot. And the stacker, I'm not going to worry about because I haven't actually been using it. If anything, probably want to stick it on a. Actually, I wouldn't mind having the stacker on the end of the recycler. Not that we use the recycler very often, or I should say the end of the centrifuge. That's probably still not going to help because usually you get multiple stuff out. So it's not like it's going to combine the iron and the iron. Yeah, I don't even know if we'll hook that back up for now. I haven't really had much call for it. I think I used it in the beginning when it was, the resources were so low that it was. And we'll stick the. Yeah, we might move that door over a little bit farther. We can just put the recycler and the centrifuge over here. All right, I think we're going to have to hook that or disconnect that. All right, and do we got? So if we turn these. Yeah, we're getting light from this. Now that this is narrower, we can do fine with that. Now we're going to move that one light, which I'll probably just center it over. Yeah, I think the one lights will do there. So we'll repurpose these ones for in here. Oh, I gotta do that corner. All right, let's get this stuff hooked in. And get this. All right, so there. We might just come right up. We can probably just put it right up on that wall. Let's start on the back end because some of this we're not going to need at all. just got to make sure none of these are like a three-way corner or junction going into the floor. I don't believe anything over here should be. So we're going to run that. Oh, actually right there. Okay, so that's... Okay, I think this is the line. Okay, this is the greenhouse. This is the line coming into the greenhouse. So we don't want to cut that one. We'll get quite a bit back from this, which would be nice. And we can change that to a corner. It's good because we're going to have to wire up all this stuff too. So this will definitely give us some more room once it's done. It'll be nice. This hallway area was getting, this area here was getting quite a little bit cramped with all the machines and stuff. And I do want to throw a door in there. And we can pull all that up because we're not going to need that either. Ah, come on, pick them up. Thank you. So this stuff needs to be moved into that other room. And I'll probably, move that over and move that over a little bit. So otherwise it's going to be buried in the wall, which will probably keep it from working correctly. And then what we're going to do is go up right there. I think we're gonna need to make a couple more lights in here because obviously I don't think 2 lights is gonna be enough to cover this area. I keep meaning to check out putting them on the ceiling and having them shine down. Oh, autosave. All right, there we go. That's good. Autosaves are a nice point. I can stop and take a drink of coffee. All right. Oh, we're going to need to weld on the wall some. Let me see. Maybe we'll do 1, 2, 3. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. That's I figure that's probably one of the first things that somebody's gonna add, some type of electrolysis system to split the water. Honestly, I don't know why they just didn't add it from the beginning. It seems pretty straightforward. Useful. Just like I'm surprised that the we've got the gas generator, which is basically we're running a household gas generator for as a power source. I don't they could have easily added water into that and made it some type of steam turbine. Okay. I'm still waiting for them to answer the question of whether or not they're going to add nuclear reactors. I'm assuming that they will at some point, since we do have uranium. We have heating, cooling. Seems like it would be, but they haven't added. And I know they're going to add. And I'm going to go ahead and make this a junction because at some point I want to set this on a logic circuit so it doesn't just run all the time. um, solar radiation is going to be, so there's already a form of radiation that will be in the game right there. Okay, I think that pretty much cleans up all the wiring. This is going to kind of give us a long... I hope at some point they'll make this remember what the last position you used was. Because not that it's horrible, but every time I pick up a stack, then I have to reorientate it. But it's one of those little, little gameplay touches that, especially since you can only carry them to 10. Yeah, I think the thought on the forums right now is they're going to add probably some type of processing for the uranium, so that we won't be using it just right from the ore, which would make sense. Okay, there we go. That kind of cleans that up. 76. Yeah, we're still not having a lot on the power side. Oh, I probably didn't want to put those down yet. I can do it from the other side. I want to put doors in there, so we're going to need to run power lines to them. All right, do some welding. And actually, I combine those stacks. Oh, not drop it. Grab the full stack first. And welder. It's one thing it's nice that we can place the blocks and stuff inside. But this whole weld it so you can place stuff on it and then tear it apart so that you can, run wiring and plumbing to the thing you just put on there. I would hope they're going to kind of tweak that a little bit. I probably don't need to do actually all of these, but and then we'll probably just run up, and yeah, we're going to do up here because we're going to need to put some lights, and we're going to need to put the wall cooler in. And I don't know if we're going to need them on, we might need them on all four sides because of the size of the room, but I think we'll see here. So I think we can probably, if I remember correctly, I was placing them pretty much in the middle of the brace there. So we're going to want 1, 2, 3, we might, maybe something like that. It's 2, 2, and then 1, of course, so it's not, well, whatever. Actually, how far do we have apart? About 2 in there. Oh, we have 3. Yeah, that would actually work. That would balance. And that seems to give us a decent amount of light for the height they're on. Yeah, I thought about doing that at some point, which I can tie into. I do want to set a system so that using the motion trackers or motion detectors, that if none of them are kicked on, that it will. But doing the doors is a good way to do it. Which I thought about maybe seeing. I don't know if you can pull off the airlock if to see if the door's open or not. I haven't looked into that. But my thought was is to have it use that to use the motion trackers, and basically, if none of them are kicked off, that it would kick on the tracking beacon. Because basically, if none of them are on, then it means you're, you know, not there. But I haven't looked into them that close yet to see. I don't know if they, just do a whole entire room or if they have a range. Because if I have to put multiple ones in like a really large room or something, then that's probably not gonna be all that fun to set up. Yeah, so that was my other thought. It was probably the easiest way to do it is just to set it so that, especially where I'm on, single player, is I can just set it that if the exterior out airlock door is open, basically meaning I'm not in the base, then have it kick on the tracker. That way I can't forget to turn it on, which I've forgot once or twice, which luckily I didn't go that far because um, I didn't lose the base. But opposed to the time that I actually ran before, it was the fixed version, and I actually ran the I was out too long and ran the batteries dead. Okay, so yeah, we're definitely gonna need more more lights on the other side. I think we are gonna need a couple on each end as well, and maybe even so probably two and two. That's good. We can have the wall cooler on the other side. Oh, that's good to know. I thought it was just a person. So that's pretty good then. All right. And I'll be right back. I've got to check. I think I've got somebody at my door. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm back. All right. So where were we? we're doing lights, which we'll have to make some more lights, which we should be able to actually do. We should have plenty of stuff in here to make them, because I'm pretty sure we don't have any extra ones of those. It's not something we need quite often. Ah, there we go. Oh, copper and silicone. Did we use all the silicone? Oh, it's in the electroprint. And what else? Oh, copper. Right. We'll need 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll try 4 more. That might be enough. So we'll stick one there. And one there. And then one on each end. That'll probably work. Oh, we don't have a, we gotta fill that in first. Yeah, motion sensors I'll have to mess with some. I have yet to. I also need to look into some of the logic chips, like the min-max. I think there's probably some decent logic chips we can make for that. Or I should say logic setups. I'm thinking something like that might help with the when we're doing the filtration system, instead of having to set up like 2 compares. Okay. I'm trying not to fill. Oh, and autosave. Trying not to fill in too much of this because we're going to have to run some piping and stuff through all this. Okay. So I don't want to weld everything up and then be tearing it back apart again. We do that enough as it is, going through the regular, tweaking the systems and expanding systems, that I don't need to make more work for ourselves. All right. Oh, and that last one always wants to be a pain. I'll have to see, does anybody follow the devs on Discord? I know they're quite active on there now. And Discord is something I have never gotten into. I do wish they kind of do their dev stream and whatnot like they were used to. Because we were getting, that was getting some decent information from there, basically. So, but they've, somebody was, asking them on this because they were pretty active on the Steam forums as well, but now they've kind of just gone to Discord. Yeah, is there anything interesting they've been talking about lately? Or any plans, anything new that they're adding? Because, right now, I mean, unless you follow them on Discord, there's not much information, they can easily get a hold of. And, oh, how are we going to run? I guess we're going to run this around. And, oh, yeah, definitely have to run that around. Have they mentioned anything on the ore scanner? Because they did the little teaser thing for it, which, I was kind of surprised that the gas generator came out before it. I kind of, was thinking that they did a little teaser for it, and that was kind of going to be one of the next things added. But I don't know if they ran into issues with it or, whatnot. Or maybe they just realized that, um, they needed something else besides the solar and the coal. Yeah, I guess we'll just run straight back. Yeah, I'm hoping they add more resources. I'd like to. I see. What's a good example? Rock. If anybody's played that, which I do want to. I want to jump into that at some point. Still. But that, you've got all kinds of resources. Uh, quite a few, which gives a lot of crafting options and stuff. So I'm hoping but kind of the ores and stuff are kind of like the first pass, and we'll be seeing a bit more in depth on that. I'm hoping. Let's get this put back in there. All right, and I'm gonna have to see what I don't know what we're gonna be able to get up to for pressurization now. I'm hoping I'm not gonna have to go spend like a day gathering oxides again. Oh. There we go. Some more light. Very nice. No, yeah, I didn't need to flush my. Okay, yeah, that'll work good. That should give us, especially once we get the wall plates and stuff on there, that having the, that seems to light it up quite a bit. All right. Oh, and we pulled this up now, so we can put that down. And probably do like we did last time. I really wish they'd line those up, but I guess we can do it that way. Let's push the machine back a little bit. All right, so that should be all the machines hooked back up. We shouldn't really need to stick anything through most of the wall except for the cooling for now. I don't think we might leave this one open for now because we'll have to run the pipes over. But we could just run those. I think. Oh. Yeah, we can leave that there. That's fine. Yeah, because it's not going to line up. Yeah, so we'll have to leave that open because we're going to have to come over from probably somewhere around in here to come over to get the lines ran. We can put a frame in there now. There, we're starting to get room laid out. Oh, I did throw a couple of windows in here the other day off camera too. I changed that. I figured we'd have a few. I don't like to have too much windows because they do add heat. Yeah, yeah, I'm sure there'll be a lot more added. Plus, once the modding support gets a lot more in depth, that right there will um, there'll be a lot of content that'll come right from that. I did see somebody already added a crate that adds the cereal bars. Oh, which I did add that mod. Um, I don't know if it just ran it, if it's supposed to show up where your starter spot was, which I don't even remember where my starter spot was. It's been a while. It was close to here, though. I didn't travel too far from the starter spot. But I don't know if you have to do initial spawn in to have it show up, or if you... It looks like somebody's been doing a whole bunch of mining around my base. Yeah, I don't think it came in. I don't know if you have to start. I don't know if it only shows up when you do a new game. That's what I'm assuming is probably when you initially spawn in is when it creates it, along with all the other crates. Because obviously, if we die and respawn, we don't get new crates. As far as I know, I haven't died. So, or besides the dying and being stuck. So if I remember correctly, my starter area was kind of like, might have been over here. It wasn't any farther than being over here. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, it looks like it only shows up when you first spawn in. I have to remember there's a little bit of iron there. I've noticed that as I've done stuff on the World Gen and stuff, I get outcroppings of stuff that show up that did not used to be there. All right, I want to actually weld in this little one, and I'll probably get all this like you know, we pretty much got everything in this room. We still got to do the heater vents and stuff, but I'll probably get everything hooked up and then just go around and fill up all the you know, the frames off camera, because that's, you know, nothing exciting there really, and it's basically just repeating the same thing for about 20 minutes. No, the hole in the front of the base is where I dumped everything that that should be just the, yeah, this should be all the, I threw them in here because this is all the stuff that I never use and there's no way to get rid of it. I did keep I do have the greenhouse crate still in the base because I'm using that to store the seeds in. But my thought is since there's this giant hole right here, I'll probably fill this in with the blocks, just because every time I come around this kind of side of the base, I have to jump over it. And that happens quite a bit when I leave for mining runs and I'm heading back to the airlock. And what did we need the wall heater. We're going to need the radiators. Oh, actually, the wall heater yeah, the wall heater's right there. So we might actually make another one of those and put it in that side. And I guess we can do it that way. I usually don't run them that way, but... And we'll need to put a charging station in here as well. Well, I'm not actually going to worry about it right now since it's all broken anyway. But at some point, well, I guess I can go ahead and hook it up. It's, you know, that way it'll be ready when when they do have it fixed. Hey, that's not the one I wanted. Oh, well, there is that. Yeah, that is actually a really good idea. That would make a use for them. I was thinking about putting one down down in the generator room so I could store coal in it and whatnot. You know, but then I can just put a locker there as well. So I hadn't I hadn't really decided yet, but it's not like if we throw them in the hole, we could unbury them. I do kind of like the idea of throwing them in a using them to store the supplies for building. That is actually a really good idea. I'll have to try to keep that in mind. They would be nice, if it's to the point where, I don't know, if we get, once we get vehicles and stuff, then if you want to go build an outpost or something. I did have one, but I took it out because that's before they fixed the bug where it would drop the resources when you loaded the world. Because I got it tired of every time I'd come in, I'd have to go, and every time I loaded up the world, I'd have to go and pick up the piece, the the batch of ore that it had dropped. Um, so I had I'd pulled it out, and honestly, actually we do need that still. We don't need that, and we do need the radiators. Um, I want to really hook up the gas one. I'd rather not burn the coal, just because you need it for the steel. And I could actually see them making it, you know, needed for other things um, as well later on down the road. Okay, we'll hook that up like that for now. And I want to put a three-way. I want to run it on. If I run it off on that side, that'll work. All right, that'll give us a spot to put an input in at. Oh, autosave. Oh, I thought all of our plants died. I see the greenhouse has cooled down. Yep. Yeah. For some strange reason, having the plants in there, I'm assuming because they're making the O2 is um, it just can't keep up. And yet, I know. I apologized in the beginning. I got tied up with some real life stuff, and I was not able to do the stream yesterday. But I do plan on doing everything yesterday. I like doing 3 or 4 streams today. Um, yeah, oops. I need do we have a pressure regulator over here? Oh, very nice. Um, yeah, I got a later start than I planned on. And by the time I had been able to get started, and after I mined, which both of these were actually full and actually overfilled. Well, thanks for that. Um, and processed everything, and then got everything to filter through the system. Um, it was too late to do the stream, and so I almost did one at like 1 o'clock last night in the morning, or this morning. But I decided I would probably be so tired that I would be rambling a lot worse than I usually do. So I decided I'd just hold off and do them today. Okay, so we need not a canister. It doesn't seem as bad, and I do believe it is coming from the greenhouse, because that AC is, it's not working right because of the. Oh, actually, I do want to make another. Oh, okay. Well, we won't make that right now then. Oh, I always forget the name. Gas tank storage. There. Is that the one I want? The gas tank storage. That's the one that the canister goes into. Or is it the other one? I always get that wrong. Pipe analyze, pipe valve, pipe, pipe. Or it's not the tank connector, right? That's the big one, I believe. Oh no, 5 iron. Because the other one's like 20 steel, isn't it? That's the... Nope. Ah, see, I always do that. I really wish they'd named... Okay, gas tank storage. I always do that. Yeah, I always build the wrong one. And I love that it's throwing them right at me. Okay, there. So now we'll be able to fill this in. And we can run that right off of this. That'll work fine. And we want to set that to... And I'm not going to worry about using it yet because... Yeah, no. It's it only connects from one side, which is the bottom. So it's kind of a drawback of them having put the labels on there. See, that's something somebody can make a mod of because, you know, obviously it's not a priority for the devs to make one, but somebody could actually just take that, flop it, and then give you a version, an alternate with the fill on the other side, and then that way they would face up. Yeah, it should, but it's because it's tied into the, it's on the actual texture itself. But yeah, they should, you know, but I'm sure that down the road it will, you know. I mean, it looks fine when you do it like this. And I still wish you didn't have to have a pipe hooked up in between. I mean, you know, let me put the, um, well, that actually I could drop down. But, you know, in the cases of like this, where, yeah, we have to have a pipe in between, you know, that's really annoying. Oh, yeah. All right, so we'll stick that. Actually, we can recycle that, but we'll do that later on. All right, so all the machines are now hooked back up. We might still need a little bit more light. I might try to throw in one in the ceiling up here. So let's see. Walls, walls, walls. Let's see if I got any gaps. I think the only gaps we've got now are where I've got to move this locker. Actually, let's leave this over here. Because we can pick up this stuff. For some reason, why do I feel like I already did this? I must have... Did I have to roll back for some reason? I could swear that I've already put these down here once. Yesterday, maybe. I don't know. Obviously, if I did, they're still not because they're... All right. That is possible, but I think then you would run into the issue of it's not going to line up with like the grids, you know, for where you can place everything. Because if they added a short, yeah, I don't know. I don't see, because if you move that down any, you would be in the next section, which would be right there, which would, it wouldn't give you space to butt to it. They should just make them be able to connect to each other. Now I've got an extra bench, which we'll probably make is, oh yeah, because one of these was going to be a couch. Here, we'll set it over there. Oh, that's horrible. We're going to have to paint that. All right. So that's, oh, we need doors. Yes, we definitely need a couple of doors. And we're going to need eventually some lights for that other room as well. Chair, couch, same thing. Did I call it a couch? Oh, okay. Well, yes, obviously, yes, is a chair. It's still ugly. It still needs to not be orange. Yeah, I don't know why they picked orange as the... Okay, so this, we're going to want the power on the... No, I set doors out flush. Huh, what is that? I think that cable line is right there. Yes, 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 I know the difference. And... What is... Oh, it's that... Okay. Yeah, it's hitting on that. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, we could move the door over one. Actually, yeah, let's just do that. That'll be easier than trying to rewire the line for the greenhouse. The only thing I liked is it would, yeah, oh well, it probably doesn't really matter. Is it would hide that, let's get these stacked up. It would hide that, that line there, since it doesn't, if you have a corner, they don't cover. So there's no anything there, you know, there's no filler piece. What, the wire right there? I think that's, oh, that corner's gonna mess it up. Yeah, it's the corners that mess it up. Okay. Yeah. Shoot. All right. Well, maybe we'll put it back how we had it then. I do kind of like it set up better than this, though, because that way we can have the benches and stuff down there. We could just rewire some stuff. And my dogs are going to make some noise here in a minute. They're getting ready to be fed. Just to give everybody a heads up. All right. So, the way we could just run it inside. I think that's going to be the easiest way to do it. Yeah, that'll probably straighten that out. All right. And then, yep, that I think will work. Or alternately, we just run it. Oh, I'm in New England. So, you know, nice, cold, snowy winters, which my wife really hates. But East Coast, so. All right, so I think what we'll do is come down this way. And that'll get rid of the issue of having a corner. I don't know if it's going to care about the one in the front, though. That's what we're going to have to check. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's not like in any wires. All right, well, we can move them out of the way. And there they go. They're going to go nuts for a minute. They're very food motivated. Yeah, I don't know what our grand total is right now for this year. We just got another, what was it, about another 3 inches last night. And I've got 2 inches on top of that of ice, or underneath that, which is, one of these days I'll actually be able to see my driveway again. Yeah, we can do that like that. That'll work. We'll have this doorway will be tied on with the airlock, but or not with the airlock, with the greenhouse. But that's all right. There's not that much in the greenhouse anyway, so we should be fine. Yeah, we'll change that to a junction. That's not actually too bad. I don't know if it'll let me put a corner right there. No, it's not. Yep, so we'll do that. All right, now I'll tie everything. As long as we get this, which should. Oh, autosave. Oh, I've always heard New Zealand's a nice country. I'm gonna check it out sometime. I've got one of my friends, his uncle, I think, lives up in New Zealand. I think that's where he said he retired to. Okay, there we go. That will work. And I think we're gonna run them that way. Very nice. Oop, not that one. Not that one either. Oh. All right, there we go. Door. Get that in there. Oh, very nice. That'll work. And we'll have to throw heating and cooling in here and some lights in there as well. Might rearrange it a little bit. And then we should just need to... Oh, actually, this door will probably just turn around the... Oh, no, that's right. Yeah, we're good. I was thinking we had it turned the other way. Yeah, and I might do that idea where... Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing with dogs is like one barks and it sets off the next one, and then, I love it. Sometimes one of my dogs will chase my cat, and then that gets her all worked up, and then the other dog doesn't know what's going on, just knows the other one's barking at something and starts, and you end up getting a big line of animals running through the house. There we go. Um, I do like that idea um, of having the lights tied into the doors, so that if they're open, now if I remember to close all the doors, since I usually just leave them open anyway. But yeah, that'll work. So I think that's pretty much, except for filling in, throwing down fuller grates and filling in um, the frames. And then obviously I'm going to have to put some panels and stuff in there. That is the thing in this game that burns through a ton of steel, is putting those walls up. We do have some floor grating. 26, 47. Okay, so we do still have quite a bit. 72 sheets. That'll last us a bit. And then we've still got to get all this stuff hooked up, but at least the machinery is now placed. And I am thinking about changing that vent. I might run that vent through the wall and move it out over to here. Yeah, well, no, even when I had it pressurized before, I mean, we had the base pressurized for a while, but just adding stuff in is, depressurizing it from time to time. Um, but every now and then when I'm doing something, then yeah, I'll just pressurize like one section. Obviously the greenhouse is still pressurized. Oh, very nice. Thank you. Yeah, so we still got to move that light and that pressure gauge. All right. And is that it? Well, we're down to 6 steel frames. Yeah. Okay. Well, that should be enough to finish off. We only have a few. I think it's just those two. Actually, that one I can actually place down there right now. I'm trying to go through and make sure I've got everything picked up before I go into anything else. So yeah, we'll just move the light over to here, and then we'll take that gas pressure sensor. I'll probably move it over here as well. I like having it. One of these days we've got to get that automated. Or if they get the gas control. What's that? Oh, just make a huge area and build rooms within it. It's pretty much what it. Well, it's more of a rectangle than a cube, but it's definitely getting there. And I do got to throw a light in here too. I haven't thrown any lights in. Oh, yeah, that would. That's why I always do. I do a rolling 3 saves. So that way it's usually before every episode I start a save. Um, and then that way I don't get into that type of issue. Though you can edit your save as well. You can go through and, you know, he could probably just moved his coordinates a little bit. Yeah, there is a backup, and it does keep some other ones as well. That is right. I didn't find that out until the other day. But that is true. It does. There is a backup folder, and it'll have some. It does keep a. I'm not sure. I think the backup, though. I think the backup folder does keep a couple older versions of even if you're only using one save. It's just you have to dig into it, into your documents folder to find it. Oh, we can turn that off. Okay. Well, we're hitting an hour and 20 minutes, so I'm going to call this the end of this stream. We've basically got everything hooked up for in here. All the machines are now moved over. Oh, we got to throw power onto those. But other than that, everything is hooked up and ready to be used. Oh, very nice. And the next episode, I think I've still got to finish off that other little room. Um, but that one's not a priority. So I think off camera, I'll probably fill in the frames real quick, get that done. Um, oh, we're not going to want to run that way. Uh, and then, oh, did she? I didn't even notice. I'm supposed to say bless you. Did you sneeze? Did you sneeze? Yeah, okay. She says okay. And that's my wife. um, yeah. What was I going to say now? That lost my train of thought. uh, yeah, I'll probably fill in these frames off camera real quick. And then I think we do have got to get that hooked up. Maybe we will do that in the next episode because we're going to have to run some pipes and stuff that'll from over there, tie in the oxygen. And then I do want those up and running because obviously we've got the greenhouse. And once we get the radiators, once they get the radiators fixed, obviously we're going to need to be able to use the processing machinery and stuff. Oh, I was going to throw a locker in there too. So if we, and I laugh out loud, ever have any extra food, we can store it in there as well. And what did I come over here to grab? Oh, shoots. And I don't know how well this is going to... I might not like... No, strangely enough, the way this was set up before, where there was an offset, it would still throw into the other machine. Which was funny, because it would actually hook, and even though it had an opening here, because there was a, basically an angle, and then a straight, because this was set up even, which was nice because I could put stuff in right there, but it would actually still kind of bend around like the chute was there. Floor lights? I don't know. Is that a mod? I haven't seen any. I mean, there's the LEDs. As far as I know, there's only the LEDs and the regular lights. And then the stand ones. Oh, I'll have to check. I didn't check to see. Somebody must have... I've been trying to check every day now since they've, kind of done the mod stuff. And yesterday was still just the food crate and the ores and changing the machines. Well, that might be I don't know. I'll have to look. I'll look between the streams and see if it's a mod or not, because that would be something interesting. I mean, I'd like to add, stuff like that is fine. I think, especially stuff that gives you more options. I would think if it was the regular game, they would be just added under the the kit light. Yeah. So I'll look. That's I'm always interested in more stuff. Especially gives us more options on how so everything doesn't look exactly the same. But all right, I'm gonna call this good for this episode. We are now almost at an hour and a half. We've got pretty much that room wrapped up. Like I said, I'll fill in frames, whatnot, off camera. And I'll probably just kind of leave this untouched. And then next episode we'll work to get the pipes and the wiring done in here. Same thing, lights, cooling. So a little bit of the same, but that should probably go relatively fast. Except for running pipes and stuff is probably going to be take a little bit of time. But luckily, this is our oxygen line right here. And we've got a waste line that runs down through, so we really only have to come from this wall over for the pipage. What about the fabricator? Yeah, I don't know. I don't like the fabricator too much. I don't it's slow. I mean, it's nice that you can set quantities in, so you could just set a specific quantity and walk away. Oh, we still got to get this hooked up as well too. Um, oh, it's not. I never even. I thought it was. Oh yeah. No, it's not. Well, it kind of is. So you go active AP power. Oh, because it's probably APC. It's probably using the it kind of was CDEF. Yeah, it kind of is, but I have a feeling that it's using not the display name. Um, it's probably using like the item name because they're pretty close. You get G's, H, I's. You know, here's your now you're in your kits, but then you get construction kit. Yeah, so I have a feeling that it's probably something like that is what's going on. Yeah, you would think it should be. But it's the same thing. The data pad does the same thing. If you go through your e-reader, um, it's kind of oh, this is the network. It's broken up by basically machines. So you get tool manufacturing, and then you get the hydraulic pipe bender. So even if you can make the same thing, and we got an autosave going on, even if you got two machine, the hydraulic bender, and you go through, and eventually you'll get to the fabricator, and you'll start seeing the same things again. Yeah, right here. So they it should be, and they should do the same thing with there. That should be alphabetical, but that can be, you know, that's down the road. You know, that can be a beta option. Something after the game's a little bit more polished. But all right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I will probably be back. I've got to do that quick errand real quick. I'll probably be back in about half an hour or so, um, and maybe a little bit longer. Probably not much longer, just so I can do the finishing the framing in here as well. Um, yeah, 58%. That's about where it's been going. We're charging though now. I just went to 59. Um, and then um, yep. So probably about half an hour. We'll say 45 minutes, an hour. I'll be back. And I'll probably do two streams. I'll get that. I'll get that. We'll hook that room all up, which is I'm gonna kind of call this our living quarters, I guess. Um, and then I think after that we're gonna do an episode on getting the gas generator hooked up as well. Yeah, yeah, I know. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you a little bit later on today in the next stream.